everyone, this is Phoebe Wild from Cardboard Vault here at GenCon50 with Mike Selinker of Loan Shark Games. How you doing, Mike?
I'm very good right now.
Thank you so much for being here, and he's going to show us Thornwatch, which is their upcoming game.
Yes, it's going to come out soon. We haven't set a release date yet because we don't have a date back from our printer yet, but it's very, very close to release, very close to being done. We've got, it's a game set in a fantasy forest, illustrated by Mike Krahulik and written by Jerry Holkins of Penny Arcade. They came up with this idea, and then we came in and said, okay, you've got a good idea for a game here, now let's get it to the point where it could be a publishable game. And so we made it, and it's very fun. It's very atmospheric. You're in the middle of a comic book. The tiles, the tokens, the cards are all designed to feel like they're part of a comic book, and you won't see things like card borders and stuff like that. What you'll see is like things that actually make sense when they're put on the map.
And so this is based on the Eyrewood comics by Penny Arcade.
Yeah.
And the characters, all the cards, all the powers are kind of drawn from that lore that they established in that series.
Right. That's right. It's a very interconnected game. Every part is derives out of something that was in the Eyrewood or that we asked Mike and Jerry to come up with. So we would say things like, we need some sort of Hydra-like monster to show off this mechanic. And then the next thing that would happen Jerry would come downstairs and said, it's a giant turtle called the Swamp Choir. It's got 4 heads and it sings a song of malaise to the swamp. And we're like, yeah, that's exactly what we asked for, right? And so working with these guys, who are 2 of the most creative fellows we've ever met, and their whole team, Kiko and Mike Failhour and all those people, just made for, working with my game design team, made for a pretty great output, I think. It's the most visually arresting game I think you'll ever see.
And so what can people expect they play through a story, correct? Of like kind of interconnected, choose your own adventure kind of story. So what can people expect to face in like the first campaign or the first game?
So the first game is the Thornwatch base set has 15 tiles, 15 storyboards that you can play. Each one of them is different, and it creates a different set of objectives. That's kind of my move on a lot of my games, right? That's what we did with Betrayal at House on the Hill. It's what we did with Apocrypha and Pathfinder. But the point is, all the parts can be used in all of them, so you can bring whatever characters you want in. The world is sort of built like you've got these villages, and they're independent and on their own, and the forest is moving around them, and so they're sort of trying to root their existence in the Eyrewood, and you are these ghostly spirits that are summoned when someone ties a bramble knot in a tree and pricks their finger on it, and so you get summoned as sort of a magical A-team to deal with a problem. Like, there's no long setup. We don't meet in a bar and decide whether or not. You are summoned and you go to work right away. And these plots are interconnected. You can sort of string them together. There's a judge whose job it is to choose the stories and administer the bad guys and so forth. And then we came up with this crazy idea that in some of our games, you level up your characters, right? You gain things for your characters and stuff like that. We didn't want to do that. Instead, we're going to level up you. The more you play, the more you can apply whatever you have gained to your characters in this game.
That's awesome. And so how does the gameplay work once you started a game?
You get a character, you get a deck of cards that's the Blade or the Warden, you get a character tableau which you can track stuff on, and then what'll happen is you give your judge a momentum card. Your momentum is those cards are shuffled together with the monster's momentum cards, and then they're dealt out on the table, which indicates the order in which you will go. So every turn is radically different because now you have to figure out, okay, if he goes first and this monster gets to go and they'll kill that villager and we don't want that. So maybe I need to help you get ahead of that. When you damage a monster, you move them down the momentum track, and when you get them to the end, if you can hit them again, you'll knock them off. That requires cooperation. There's so much necessity for you to coordinate your actions in this game, because otherwise you will never succeed. It's probably the most cooperative game we've ever made.
And there's a little bit of a deck building element as well as you're playing your cards.
It's possible to like I said, we abstracted the gaining of power to the player.
Yeah.
So you're gaining powers that you can use in the game regardless of which character you play. So you keep track of those yourself. So it's like a player building game in a weird way. I don't know if that's a thing, but I think I just made it up.
It's now a thing.
Yeah. And there'll be 5 of them on the shelves next month, I'm sure.
And you can see here the deluxe collector's edition version of the box, which is gorgeous.
Yeah. So this thing is going to be an amazing piece of work. The guys at Dapper Devil just really knocked it out. It's got the Thornwatch crest on it, and then this sort of beautiful, I don't know if you can see, but this sort of beautiful weave all the way through it of the forest. It's a little bit unsettling in some ways because the forest is sort of cracking in on itself and such. Inside there's, iron wall, basically dividers made out of wood, and then there's felt and some of it. It's going to be quite a special thing. And you're getting one, right?
I'm getting one, yeah. I'm very excited.
Yeah.
It's the first time I've seen it in person,
I know.
I couldn't be more excited to see it.
It rarely is more than 5 feet away from me, because we know that people would very much like to own a copy of it. But anyway, it's really cool. When it came in, we were just like, this is the most amazing thing we've ever seen. This is part of a 3-game series, right? Yeah. This game, Thornwatch, has an expansion, Dark of the Wood, that comes out shortly after it. But then we go to the next game, which is Lookouts, which is about essentially boy and girl scouts who have to save the town from people. So they have like basilisk fighting badges and poison salvation badges and stuff like that. And then we go to Daughters, which is a game I am maybe more excited about than any of the other games in our line, because it's a game of young girls becoming druidic protectors of the forest. And we've seen cosplayers at all of our PAX conventions in these outfits. It's very clear that especially young girls are very attracted to this part of the Eyrewood. And so if we can make that into a game that girls and boys want to play together right out of the gate, I think we've made a whole new generation of gamers. So I think it's going to be amazing.
And when do you expect those games to be coming out? Is it the TBD?
In the future.
In the future.
I don't know. We're gonna get this one out first, and but we're already sort of laying the tracks down on those games. But we haven't done any of the really important work to make it happen. But the cool thing is they'll all fit together. You'll be able to take your daughter's characters into a Lookouts game. You'll be able to take your Lookouts into a Thornwatch game. It'll all be great.
That's amazing. Well, that is Thornwatch from Lone Shark Games and Mike Selinker talking about the game. So thank you everyone for watching. Look out for it later this year, hopefully.
I'm not. It'll be soon.
Soon. Look out for it soon. Thanks everyone for watching, and we'll see you next time.